So, Kevin, before we go live off record, I wanted to say that I started to raise funds for the monument in Prague for you when you will be there. In which
really?
location would you like to have the?
I'd like it to be over by the castle, right in front of the
Oh,
castle where
oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
those
It's too.
guards
Oh, whoa,
stand.
whoa. Well, it's too expensive. We can talk later. Okay, we're live.
Oh,
Okay,
oh,
we're live. So, hi guys. Hello. Good morning, United States. Good morning, Canada. Good morning. Good afternoon, Europe. So today we have Kevin King here on this special webinar. Hello, Kevin.
Hi, how you doing? How's everybody doing out there? Welcome.
So yeah, please type in the chat. How are you? And what we'll be talking today. Today, Kevin will present us few strategies he is suggesting for other Amazon sellers to implement in order to grow the business, Amazon business. Also, we will talk a little bit about the European Seller Conference. It is a live event, in-person conference in Prague, which will be happening in end of March in 2019. So those who are in Europe or want to come to Prague in end of March, check out the website, europeansellerconference.com, and you will be able to meet Kevin King also live in that event. So let's give time for Kevin. He said, "What Kevin? What you will be sharing with us today?"
Well, first, I'm not coming to that live event unless you have the statue ready. If the statue is not ready,
Oh.
I can't. So you better get that guy, that guy working on it pretty quickly.
Okay.
And it better look good. Don't make me look bad in that.
Don't worry.
Trim me down a little bit. Trim me down a little bit. Make sure there's no beer gut hanging out or anything.
No, don't worry. If you don't come, I paid the guy, the sculptor, but I can easily change the face to my face. It's like not a problem.
Okay.
The money is raised on your name. Thanks for helping to raise the money.
So yeah, today I'm going to share with you guys 3 strategies that I think are pretty good that should hopefully help you in your Amazon business. And so yeah, that's what I've got. I've got a little presentation for you, and then I'll do that presentation, and maybe afterwards, if we have some time, I can maybe answer a few questions. So that sound okay?
Yeah, to me it looks good. So.
All right, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and go into share my screen here.
Oh, I thought you would say I will share my money.
I don't have any money.
Okay.
All right. If you can just tell me.
Yeah, we see your screen.
Is everything okay on everything look good?
Yeah, everything looks good. Looks
okay.
We see black screen with a lot of text.
All right, great. So yeah, I'm excited to be coming to your conference. I know it's your first conference over in Prague. I love Prague. I've been to spent quite a bit of time there. It's been about 9 or 10 years since I've actually been over there, but spent a lot of time there in the mid-late 2000s. It's a beautiful city. It's one of my favorite cities. Very medieval feeling in the architecture, and just a cool place. So I'm looking forward to being over there for your conference. You got a lot of great speakers. But today, what I want to do is I want to share with everybody some tactics that are similar to what I'll be talking about at the conference. So just to give you an idea of the kind of stuff that you'll get, sometimes you go to these conferences and it's a bunch of mumbo jumbo, and people are just up there. I call it preaching. People just go up there and they just preach. But I like to actually teach and give you tactical stuff. So that's what I'm going to show you today is 3 strategies that's going to be similar to what I'll be, be different material, but this is this kind of stuff that if you come to Prague, I'll be teaching. And both, I think I'm speaking for like an hour during the conference, and then we have a special day at the end of the conference where I'll be doing like 4 or 5 hours of this kind of stuff. So just to give you an idea of that. So no matter what your experience is or what your level is on Amazon, whether you're just beginning or haven't started yet, or maybe you're already selling, I'll give you 3 actionable strategies today that could really make a difference in your Amazon business. So if you're not familiar with me, my name is Kevin King. I run the Freedom Ticket, which is a course for new people. It's a training, like a 22-hour training with live Q&As every week with me on how to sell on Amazon. I also have AMZ Marketer, which is a group of high-level most people doing over $1 million a year, or actually everybody doing over $1 million a year. And then I'm also part of a Helium 10 Elite. I'm the lead mentor for Helium 10 Elite, which used to be called the Illuminati Mastermind, and it just got rebranded as Helium 10 Elite. So I'm the lead guy there as well. And I also have been selling on Amazon since 2001. I've been doing FBA, which is what most people do or consider selling on Amazon these days, since 2015. I started selling back in 2001 through the Amazon Advantage program, which is kind of like a vendor program. So I have one of those old school accounts on Amazon that gives me a few advantages that are kind of grandfathered in. And I've done millions of dollars of sales on Amazon over that time, and I continue to sell on Amazon right now. You know, a lot of people that are out there teaching, or as I say, preaching, a lot of times they're actually not selling, or maybe they did for a little while and they're no longer selling, but I'm still doing a really good volume on Amazon with multiple accounts. I also speak at a lot of events, like we're going to be speaking at Augustas event in Prague. So I'll get to add the Prague name to this list here, but I speak at events for Amazon sellers and e-commerce sellers all over the world. And I've been on a lot of podcasts, and including summits like the AMZ Seller Summit and several others that Augustas has done. And like I said, I'm also the lead mentor in Helium 10 Elite, which used to be called Illuminati, just got rebranded. And there we have sellers doing over $500 million in sales. And I think that's probably about to double, because there's a new launch it's about to happen to allow some new people to come in. And so I have a feeling that we've cut the price on it. And so I have a feeling that, or actually added more value. The price is the same, but added a lot more value. So I think that may actually double. The reason I do this business is it gives me the freedom. I'm in this for the freedom. I'm not in it to make gazillions of dollars. I'm not trying to build a $100 million company. I do this, I'm happy with a $5 to $10 million in sales on my different accounts, because it gives me the freedom to travel. So I've been to, I know Augustas has been to quite a few places. He's done a lot of travel, but I've been to all 7 continents in 92 countries. Been to places like the Taj Mahals, safaris in Africa, Petra, the Maldives, Tahiti, Rio, the salt flats of Bolivia, the southern tip of South America, Patagonia, the Cinque Terre in Italy, and Sorrento in Greece. And this is allowing me to have to really do what I want to do. I got married in Cartagena, Colombia, to my beautiful wife a couple years ago. And then when I'm traveling a lot of times, this is the view from my office. This was in Greece, in Sorrento. So just looking out on the office, and at the end of the day, I'm able to actually, go with my wife and have a nice ending to the day. That's what I'm trying to do out of this business, is have that freedom and that lifestyle. It's not, for me, it's not about how rich can I get, or how much money can I make. It's how can I make money with the least amount of effort that will enable me to do all this cool stuff. And so that's why I want to show you today is some of the tactics and things that I do. Well, some of you may, if you've never heard of me, you may be wondering, why should you listen to this guy? And these are just some quotes from some of the Kevin Reiser used to be the main guy at the private label movement. He says, I usually over deliver. Manny Coates, a good friend of mine, is the owner of Helium 10. I'm not part of Helium. I don't own anything in Helium 10. I just am part of their mentoring program, but he's a good friend. Steven Peterson, likes a lot of the ideas that I drop, and Ed Rosenberg, who runs a big Jewish Amazon sellers group called ASGTG. I just spoke at his event recently in New York. I've actually spoken at it like 4 times. He has a lot of good things to say as well. So my question for you guys that are watching this video right now is, I want to ask, are you ready? If you're ready, go ahead and type it in the chat box. Go ahead and type it in and say, yes, I'm ready to see what these tactics are. Go ahead and type that in the comments or the box there, so I can just make sure that you're ready to go, because I'm ready on my end. You see some coming in there, Augustas? I can't see the chat box.
It says ready, let's go, ready, yes, yes.
All right, perfect. So let's do it, guys. So like we said, the European Seller Conference is going to be coming at the end of March. So if you're in Europe, I highly recommend you come and come to the conference. And like I said, the last day on March 30th, it's a day that I'm going to be teaching all day long. And the type of stuff I'm going to be teaching is what I'm going to share with you today. So the conference is about 200. It's a smaller conference. It's not a huge one. So about 200 sellers there. It's will be the cap on it, which is great, because that way you can network with other people and you can actually hang out with other people and get to know the other guys. That's one of the best things about coming to these conferences, not only what you learn, but it's meeting other sellers and sharing experiences and things that work with them. And then, like I said, the last day I'll be doing a private deal that'll be similar to what the kind of content you're seeing today. So what I want to show you right now are 3 strategies that can increase your sales on Amazon in a week or less. So strategy number 1, let's go ahead and get into it. Strategy number 1. Most of the sales on Amazon come from one of these 3 areas: Google and social media, or outside links, and product pages. And by product pages, that means the pages where someone's maybe done a search result, they've clicked through, they're looking at the product, the description, and down at the bottom, it'll say sellers who viewed this also viewed that, or there's a sponsored ad section, or customers who bought this also bought that. That's what I mean by product pages. The product pages account for about roughly 40% of the sales on Amazon. It's a major overlooked area. Search results, outside links, are roughly about 25%. And then search results, which is when someone types in a keyword and they look at the page and they click through something, that accounts for about 35% of the results directly from search. So a lot of product pages, sometimes you get to those by search, but sometimes people then end up clicking off of that product page to another product. So that's what I mean. It's almost like a lead page. So that's where the breakdown is. So we're going to talk about these and how you can improve your chances of making sales on each one of these today. So the first thing I want to do is let's talk about the search. This is where, in my opinion, where keyword emphasis should be. So when you're building your listing, you want to make sure that you have your keywords in the right place. And you're going to see exactly why here in just a second. So the first place is title. Most products on Amazon make their sales from about 3 to 8 keywords. You know, you see people all the time, they're like trying to dig gold and pan for gold and find all these keywords, or they'll stuff their listing with like 1,000 different keywords. In my opinion, that's a mistake. You might need to do that in the beginning to kind of figure out what people are buying off of, but you need to dial that back over time. So you want to make sure you get in your title the top keywords that are converting or that you're targeting for. So if there's 8 keywords that are driving 90% of the sales, it'd be great if you could rank and be on page 1 for all 8. But maybe when you're first starting your product or first launching, it's just going to be a handful, 1 or 2 of them, maybe 3 of them. And then over time, you're going to try to get the rest. Those need to pretty much be in your title when you're first starting. So that's an important place to be. The next place, the second most important place, in my opinion, is called subject matter. This is in the back end, and it's 5 different fields. In case you don't know what subject matter is, when you go into your Amazon listing, it's the one that looks like this. It says subject matter. A lot of times only 1 box will show, but you can hit that add more button and it'll make all 5 boxes show. This is not the same as search terms. So notice search terms is outside of the red box on the screen. It's below it. This is a different place. This is called subject matter, and you can put up to 50 characters in each of these 5 lines. And in my opinion, this is one of the most overlooked and most important places. I will repeat my best phrases in here. I will repeat in exact phrase order. So I will repeat everything in the subject matter. The next place is what's really important is search terms. So that's where you need to put some emphasis in. The fourth one are what's called the other fields. In my opinion, it's the 4th most important place on your listing. What are the other fields? These are ones that often people just leave blank. It could be like the ones that say target audience, or intended use, or other attributes. And so we'll talk about that more in just a minute, but these are really important fields to fill in too. But sometimes you don't have to put there. Amazon makes some suggestions. You see here kind of in the gray, it says target audience example: teens, toddlers, cats, intended use, baseball, Halloween, kitchen, other attributes, antique, cordless, waterproof. But what if you're selling a makeup brush? Is that makeup brush really relevant to baseball or kitchen, or is it cordless, or is it an antique? So how do you know what to put here? We'll talk about that here in just a second. So the 5th most important place, in my opinion, are the bullet points. The bullet points do get indexed, but that's more for helping you sell the product. In my opinion, most people don't read the bullet points. Only if it's technical, if it's a technical product, or there's something very specific they need to look at, especially if you've done a good job in your photos. I think most people skim the bullet points. And that's why I put them down. I mean, think of it yourself when you bought on Amazon. How many times have you sat there and read all the bullet points? They're important, but the 4 above them I think are more important. Then your reviews and the questions and answers are probably the 6th most important place for keywords. Some of those are a little bit more important for like Google SEO and outside SEO. And then your description. The description is the least important place to put keywords. The first 200 characters, though, of your description are super important because that shows up on mobile. So a lot of people, they miss this. They don't really do their description real well. Even if you have EBC, you want to make sure you actually still fill in a nice description, because sometimes that will still show up as a default, especially on mobile. The first 200 characters are super important. So by focusing on these, I was able in the month of December, yeah, it was Christmas, so the sales are a little bit higher. But in the month of December, these are 3 products that I launched. And you can see here, this screenshot's from Helium 10's Profit, which kind of tracks your sales and gives you an overview. It's not an accounting program. You still need an accounting program, but it's a nice summary thing that you can look at. But it shows on these 3 products, one of them did 33,000 gross, another one 18,000, another one 29,000. I've got my cost factors, my landing cost in there, but you can see here I did $51,362 in profit in 1 month on these 3 brand new products that I launched in December. They weren't Christmas products. It wasn't like Santa Claus stuff or anything like that. But how did I do this? Well, I did it. I did no PPC, zero PPC. I did no launch, no giveaways, no blast with Viral Launch or any of those guys, no ManyChat sequences on Facebook or no ads. I didn't email my list or anything. I did no ranking shenanigans at all. I did this by just putting stuff in the right place and knowing what to put in the right place. Now, I'm not saying you're going to have this exact same result. I know what I'm doing, and my product was unique. So there's not a tremendous amount of competition on it, to be totally transparent, but I knew what to put to make sure people found it. And so by doing this strategy, I think it can definitely help you. So what we're going to talk about, one of the emphasis that we're going to talk about here, is one of the ways that I help this stand out and help drive those sales is the other fields. And it's something that a lot of people, they miss. They miss the boat on this. So remember, those other fields are this intended use, target audience, other attributes. Those are the 3 primary ones. There's others. If you click the more details tab up at the top right, or top middle, top bar in the middle, there's sometimes more depending on your category. But these 3 are the main ones. So if you go into intended use and you type something, Amazon will sometimes do an auto suggest, and they'll start saying, here's some suggestions. So you might, in the past, maybe you scroll through there and try to find something that's relevant to you. So if I have my makeup brush, it's not, I guess it could be a business gift. It's not really for entertainment or an automobile. It doesn't have a microphone feature. It is portable. I guess it could be used for travel. So I might be selecting some of that stuff because I don't know what to put. Or maybe I'll put on intended use. I'll put, for makeup application to the face or something. I'm just guessing. Well, if I go to target audience, who's the target audience for this? Is it unisex children? Is it seniors, consumer? I mean, this is the default stuff that comes up no matter what your category is. So I don't know why Amazon does this, but this information here is not what you want to use. The same thing if you go to subject matter. Subject matter, sometimes it'll come up with mothers, this random stuff. My makeup brush doesn't go under a digital video recorder, I don't think. So I could put, subject matter is beauty or something like that, more obvious, and that's what a lot of people put, but that may or may not be right. And there's a lot more really important fields. So how do you know what to do here? So what I'm about to share with you is a strategy that I was at an event back in October of 2018 in New York City, and they had a little contest at the event. And they said we want to share tips and strategies. So it was about 100 people there, and they split us up into like I don't know, 15 different groups of people, something like that. It was like 8 of us or 7 of us or whatever, about 7 people in each group, and we all shared tactics in our group, and we voted on who's the best one, and that represented the group that then went up on stage. And so the 7 or 8 groups, or however many it was, all shared their tactic, and the winner got $500 in $1 bills in a briefcase. And so this tactic won that contest in a group of advanced sellers. So that's what I'm going to share with you here. What you want to do is you want to go back into the back end of Seller Central, and if you look under your business reports section, there's a tab back there. You'll see all these different report types in the red box. But there's one report that's missing there. One report that's a pretty important report that for whatever reason Amazon doesn't actually make it public. It's called the category listings report. It's called and you want to get this report if you can, because it's going to give you kind of a blueprint of your listing. So once you have this report turned on by Amazon, you can go to select category listing report, and then you can select the category for your report. In this case, say I have a make brush, but there's different, depending on your category, you'd pull that down. And you're going to get the blueprint of your listing. Now, Amazon hides this by default. So what you have to do is you have to open a support ticket and ask them to activate it. You just open an email and say, hey, can you please turn on my category listing? Within about 24 hours, they'll get back to you. And it's usually active for like 7 to 90 days. It won't stay there permanently. I don't know why they do this, but it'll be active for like 7 to 90 days. And then you want to download that report for your category. So if you're selling in beauty, you'll download the category listing report for the beauty category. Or if you're selling in sports and outdoors, you would do it for sports and outdoors. You'd select that category button there. Now, once you've downloaded that report, you're also going to want to download 2 more reports, or 2 more files from Amazon. One is called the flat file for your category. So every category has what's called a flat file. This is like an Excel spreadsheet, and it's used for people who don't want to enter stuff through the GUI, the graphical user interface, which is where most people, most beginning sellers type in their data. This is where you actually enter all your information for Amazon into an Excel spreadsheet, and then you upload it as a flat file. And you also want to download the category browse tree guide. It's kind of the guide, like the guide to all the categories on Amazon. Now, once you've downloaded that, you're going to come and you're going to see, like I said, under attributes, the defaults here show all this crazy stuff: stereo feature, MP3 feature, microphone feature, color display. It's not what you want to put. You could make up stuff there, but the first thing you want to put is try to fill this with stuff that's in the files that you downloaded. So if you download the browse tree guide, remember it's one of the 3 that you're going to download. And don't worry, guys, I'm going to give you the link to the slides if you're not keeping up with me at the end, so you can go back and review this. But if you download the browse tree file and you go over and look at a field, in that file there's tabs. One is like where you enter the data, and there's another one that's like instructions. And so you want to go over to the tab that has all these instructions, but you look at this one for, let's say I'm selling bath soaps in this example. I'm going to go and look at what's called thesaurus attribute keywords. The thesaurus attribute keywords. That's the other word. I don't know why Amazon doesn't make the words match, but that's attributes. That's this other attributes here, this field here, other attributes. They call it thesaurus attribute keywords in the browse tree file. But in there, it shows you what they're looking for over at where the arrow is pointing. This is the stuff that they want. If you're selling bath soaps, and that's your category, so you want to pick from this list the things that are most relevant or applicable to your product, and that's what you want to enter into that field. So you're going to open your category listing report and see what's missing or wrong. So you're going to download your category listing report. You're going to open it up, and you're going to see what's missing or wrong, and you're going to use the data in the browse tree guide under the refinements tab and under the valid values tab in the flat file. So you're going to have these. You're going to have 3 files open. So you're going to be comparing to see what you're missing and what's applicable to you. And then you're going to enter what you can, either using the Seller Central backend, or if you're comfortable using flat files, it's the best. It will get the best results, but some people are scared to use them because if you format one thing wrong, you can get errors and it can mess stuff up. So if you're not comfortable doing that, just do it the backend. But you can upload the Excel spreadsheet to Amazon and it will make the changes. But it gets a little, if you're not technically savvy with how to do databases and modifies and add repeats and how to get the right things, it can be a little frustrating. So don't worry about it if you can't do that. But if you can, great. So you're going to come in, you're going to do it for like specific use keywords as another example. That's the intended use. Specific uses. So here for this particular product, these are the specific uses. This was a bath soaps example. You're going to go in here and choose whichever one, these bath soaps. Maybe it's good for it's anti-aging soap. And sometimes you may only find 1 or 2 in here. You may find a bunch. But when you open up your category listing report, you're going to see here on the right hand side there's a lot of, I had makeup, shaving, and travel is what I put. I was just guessing. That's what I put. That's not really what Amazon wants. I mean, if you have space, you could leave that in there if you want to, but you need to put what Amazon wants, because it's going to dramatically affect your indexing, your PPC, and you'll see in a minute quite a few other things. Another one here, like a thesaurus attribute keywords, you're going to put the relevant one in the other attributes. If you can't fill everything up with these, then fill it up with other good keywords from your listing. Just take advantage of this space. The customer doesn't see it. It's in the back end, but feed the beast as much as you can. So whatever you put in, whatever you can that Amazon wants, and then try to fill up this other space. It's okay to fill up the other space with guesses or relevant guesses. Empty is bad in your category listing report. Like here, it's skin type. That's another one that might be in the other attributes field, the other file. I said earlier, there's a few of them are shown, but you have to click the other tab to get to, this is the skin type. This is what Amazon's looking for here. And oftentimes this is what they're doing the filtering on the left-hand side. So why should you do this? It'll increase your relevancy. It'll increase your help you on your keyword indexing. It's going to make the filtered search results on the left-hand side. When customers see these filtered results where you can filter it down, maybe they type in bath soaps and there's, 10,000 results, but on the left-hand side, they can choose the one by skin type, or I don't know exactly what's there, but they can filter down and take 10,000 down to 20 results. So that's who you're really competing with. And you're telling Amazon what they want to hear. It helps you with your sponsored ads impressions, and it's a great way to help you get more sales. So that's something you need to take a look at and try to improve your listing by using that category listing report to see what's missing. It's kind of the blueprint to your listing, and then use your browse tree guide and your the flat file for your category and use that data. So that's the first tip I have. And this is the type of stuff that if you come to Prague, I'm going to be sharing with you in Prague at the European summits. So you want to make sure you're there if you can't be there.
Kevin, we have a question about this strategy. So these screenshots you showed is basically from US Amazon account. And there is a European seller. I know, Kevin, you are probably not selling in Europe, but maybe you have heard. So Etienne is asking, so is it normal that on my UK, Germany, France account, I only have search terms, platinum keyword, and target audience, no other fields?
Yeah, so each market is slightly different, but like you're gonna fill in what you can. Like you have target audience, so at least that's one of the three. Maybe you don't have other attributes, but sometimes they show up in different places in different marketplaces. You might check the other, or if you download the flat file in the German marketplace, the actual fields might be there. They just don't show up in the GUI, the graphical user interface that most people use. They may not show there. That's why I said earlier, if you're comfortable, the flat file is the best way to do it, because there are fields that show up in the flat file that do not show up in the GUI. So you might, I don't know specifically for Germany, but you might check that and see if they're actually in the flat file. So maybe the intended use is in there, or it'd be in German, it'll be a different name, but maybe that's in there. But if not, at least you have the target audience. That's at least one of them. At least fill that in.
And you provided the idea how to find this, so you can try, with the help with maybe a more techie person, try to analyze these reports and find.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you're not technical, you might need someone's a little bit. It's not that complicated, but some people just it's a little confusing to them when they open up an Excel spreadsheet and there's 100 columns across the top, and to upload a flat file, you got to make sure you hit some stuff's in the right place. I don't tell you, it's say sorry or whatever, but sometimes it can get frustrating because you're like, well, what's wrong? It looks good to me. So that's why I say it's a little technical there, because there's fields where you have to say update partial or delete or update all, or there's certain things that are a little bit technical. It's all in the instructions there, but it gets a little confusing for some people if they're not super computer savvy. Yeah, but it can be. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I wanted to say, I thought you finished with this. I wanted to say that maybe we skip the strategy 2 and 3 and add it into the Prax presentation.
Okay. All right. Cool. So let me forward. Is that okay with everybody?
But Kevin, then you will not get a monument in Prague.
Oh shoot! I have to do. That wasn't the deal. The deal was that wasn't the deal.
I'm the host. My rules. I change it.
Okay. I hear they have really good beer in Prague. Really good cheap beer.
Yeah, I have beer below my mouth. Okay, let's continue.
All right. Let's go on with everybody's permission, to have your permission to continue with strategy number 2. Are they?
No, someone says, no, don't skip, please. Can strategy 2 and 3 be included? Please share.
All right, let's look at strategy number 2. All right, in my opinion, the number one key to success on Amazon is mathematics and data analysis. If you're not good at math or analyzing data, try to get someone or partner with someone or get someone on your team that is, because you need to have a good product. There's no question, having a good product is super important. Having the right keywords and building a good listing with great photos. Those are fundamental things. But if you had to rank everything, if you ask the big sellers, the guys that are crushing it, doing millions of dollars, 7, 8 figure, 9 figure sellers, it's all in the data. They know how to analyze the data and know how to use math and data analytics. So people always ask me, if you're new to this business, I know a few people watching this video are probably new, or they just started, or even if you've already launched a product or two and you're thinking about launching another product, when you're setting your budget for that, you need to do it right. I see so many people do this wrong. Well, they'll go out and they'll launch a new product and they're undercapitalized, or it starts selling good and they're like, oh my God, I can't buy more. I can't get it here fast enough. So I always recommend, people say, how much money do I need to start? And you'll hear stories. People have started with $500, people started with $1,000, people have started with $10,000, all kinds of stories. But this business eats money. And so you need to come into this prepared. Product-based businesses takes capital. And so, yeah, you can start with a low amount or launch a product in a low amount, but you can get into trouble really quick. And that's why I think about 90% of the people that try to sell on Amazon, they fail. And even some of the big sellers oftentimes fail because they do this wrong. So I recommend you start with at least 2.5 times your initial inventory cost. That's how much money you need. So what does that mean? So I've got $1,000. So how do I figure this out? Or let's say, an example, you have $5,000. That's what you've pulled together, taken out of your savings, or you've been saving up, or that's how much room you have on a credit card, or whatever it is. So you got $5,000 to start. So if you got $5,000 to start, you can divide that by 2.5 because you need 2.5 times. So that's $2,000. So basically, you have $2,000 of your $5,000 that you can safely spend on your initial inventory. Now, if your lead times are slow, it takes forever to get it out of China or your manufacturer. In some cases, you may need to double that to 4,000. But let's take this example here. So I create this little spreadsheet where I make my daily sales per day. And you see the first column is sales per day. These are just rough estimates: 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That means if I'm selling, let's take the top column. I'm selling 5 per day. That's 150 per month. I need about 40 to rank it. My investment's $2,000. So my landing cost, which is my inventory cost, in this case, is $10.53. And you need to sell stuff. If you're selling things for under $100 on Amazon, you need to sell for at least 4x your cost. And if you can get that higher, like to 9x, that's even better. So that means if I'm selling this my landing cost is $10.53, I need to be selling this product for approximately $42 to $94. Okay, maybe $39.95 is okay, but you don't want to be selling this thing for $19.95 or $24.95. You have no room to work. It's a major. You're just going to be generating sales, but not profits, and you're going to have a hard time competing. So you need a 4 to 9x to really do this right. Let's take another example here on the 10. If I'm targeting a product, I'm going to try to find a product that sells 10 per day. My landing cost needs to be about $5.26. Lower is even better. And I need to sell it for between $21 and $47. So what if I have only $2,000 to start? Well, the math just works differently. That means you have $800 to spend on your initial inventory, and the chart here looks different. Or what if I have 20 grand? I got a little bit more money that I can start. So you shouldn't spend more than about $8,000 on your initial inventory. The problem I see is a lot of times people have 20 grand, they'll spend 15,000 of it or 18,000 of it on their initial inventory, and they'll just buy something, but they have, and they'll use Jungle Scout or one of these other programs to get estimate sales, and they have no clue what they're doing. And they don't do this. They don't think the math and the analytics all the way through. And what happens is they end up maybe making some sales, but then they run out. And the worst thing you can do when you're launching a new product is to go out of stock on Amazon. If you're out of stock for a day or two, okay, it's not so bad. If you're out of stock for an extended period, a week, 2 weeks, a month, while you're scrambling to get more or more's being made, you're basically starting over when you come back. It kills a lot of freaking people. So how do I use this information? Well, I use a secret weapon, and it's called Black Box by Helium 10. And I think it's the best tool. It has the most data that's out there. And so what I will do is I will take that data that I have and input it into this tool, into the Black Box on the Helium 10. Basically, Black Box takes the entire Amazon catalog and puts it in a different way that's more friendly for us to search when we're looking for product opportunities. So based on, you can choose the category here. You can select all of Amazon, or this, I'm going to sell something in the home and kitchen category. I can come in here and I can say I'm looking for something that has monthly revenue of at least $10,000. I can say I want something between a price point of say $19 and $49. I can say I want review count to be between 10 and 200 because I want to find products that don't have thousands of reviews, that have a small amount of reviews. I don't want something that has one review because maybe it just started. So I want something that has at least 10 reviews and maybe no more than 200, for example. These are not exact form. This is not the magic formula. It's just you have to think for yourself. This is an example. And then I might say I want the review rating for this product to be 4 stars or less. That means there's probably something wrong with it. Maybe I can go in, read the reviews, and fix the problem when I do my product. Maybe I'm looking for the number of images. These are all optional. You can leave some of these blank and you'll get different results. But maybe I'm looking for someone who only has 1 picture. They haven't optimized their pictures. They just got 1 picture, so it's less than 2 maximum. Maybe I want something that's private label guy. I want something that there's only a maximum of 1 seller, no more than 1 seller on the listing. And then it's going to spit back depending on what you enter here, and you can play with what you enter. It's going to spit back, in this case, spit back over 200 products. So I can scroll through these products and take a look at something that might catch my eye. So maybe I'm scrolling through here and I see Voltive scenting candles. That looked kind of interesting. Looks like this guy's got 4-star reviews. He's got a BSR of like 14,000, doing 20 grand a month. This doesn't look too bad. Maybe I can do this. So I take a look at the listing. There it is. Look, he's only got 1 picture. Only got 3 bullet points. There's lots of problems with this listing that I could go in and perhaps improve on. It doesn't look like it's an overly complicated product. So the next thing I'm going to do is, if you're using the Chrome browser, I'm going to hit the profitability calculator. And I'm going to hit that profitability calculator, and it's going to come in here and give me, pull in some of the data from this, basically the dimensions. I can adjust them if I need to. And I'm going to say, just by looking at Alibaba really quick, I didn't talk to any manufacturers or factories. I just figured it looks like it costs about $7 or so to get this thing in here. It estimates your freight costs, and all this stuff is adjustable. I'm not going to go into detail on every single one of these, but it's all adjustable. I put in $1 for other costs just because I may put a nice color box or put an insert or something. So I just like, okay, let me add $1 to it. And you can see here, it'll show you what your margins are during the 9 months of the year, and then during the 3 months of Christmas when Amazon's fees change. So you can get an idea here of your profit margins. It's going to be like 28.92 or 28.01, depending on the time of year, and your return on investment, or ROI. You see, one time of year it's 92, and the other time it's 87. I always only use the right-hand column, the worst case scenario. Even if I'm going to sell this in March, I always use the worst case scenario when I'm using my numbers. And so ROI for me is the most important, not the profit margin. I made that mistake when I first started selling, as I focused on profit margin, and it's a mistake. You want to focus on ROI. ROI is going to determine how fast you can grow your Amazon business and whether or not you need to take outside loans or anything like that. So the ROI in this case is 87%. ROI is calculated by profit divided by investment. And there's this really smart guy named Albert Einstein who said the most powerful force in the universe is compound interest. So by getting your ROI number higher, it's going to help you compound on Amazon. That's the beauty about Amazon. It's a compounding platform where you can really compound really quick if you focus on the ROI of your products. So in this case, if I was going to looking for a unit that was selling 10 per day, 300 sales per month, making $7.07, I'm about $2,100 a month in profit, divided by my investment of $2,000. That's 106% ROI. That number is a little bit different than what the calculator shows. These are both estimates. Both of these are just rough estimates to get in the ballpark. These are not exact numbers, but start off with these rough estimates. But however, I wouldn't do this product because I want a minimum 150% ROI. The higher, the better. Those products that I showed you earlier that did $51,000 in profit in December, those three, they had ROIs of about 700%. It's crazy. It's just like printing money. Those aren't, you can't always find them that have 700%, but I always want to find stuff that has at least 150%. So this product I would not do because it only has 106% ROI. I'm going to go see if I can find something better. So I'm going to go back over there and I'm going to walk you through a process of how I would find something better. But I'm going to add another component to it right now, and that's keywords. So the trick to me on ranking on Amazon is you need to know the keywords, because the best place to hide a dead body on Amazon is anything after page 1. If you're not on page 1, you're basically dead for the keyword, those 3 to 8 main keywords that you're targeting. Now you can make a lot of sales by picking up the scraps, picking up all the long tail keywords that'll account for about 10% of your sales. And maybe that's enough. Maybe if you're in the sports and outdoors market, there's some things like ab rollers that have a tremendous number of long tail keywords, and maybe you can focus on those, and that's enough to get you $20,000 in sales a month, and not compete on the word ab roller or ab wheel or some of the big ones. But you want to try to get on page 1, and really you want to try to get in those first 1, 2, or 3 positions. In the top 6 for sure, but most of the sales come off whatever's in spot 1, 2, or 3. So how would we use all this data, that black box, and the keywords to figure out what product I should actually sell? So let's go back to our example. In this example, let's say we have $10,000 to start our Amazon business, or maybe you're launching your 3rd or 4th product. You've got $10,000 is budgeted to launch this product. So 10,000 divided by 2.5, I got $4,000 to spend on my initial inventory. So I'm going to look here and I'm going to say, I like to sell something that's around 15 per day. That's a BSR that's kind of middle of the pack. The reason I might pick this is because it's not going to have a lot of Chinese hackers or counterfeiters, probably, because my BSR is probably going to be like 5,000 or 10,000. I'm kind of off the radar. Or you could choose 10 or 25. You could play with these, but for this purpose, and I would probably actually go through all these scenarios if I was searching this, but let's just take the 15 per day example here. So we have all the data there. I need a landing cost of about 702, price range of 28 to 63 bucks. So I'm going to go back to my old friend Blackbox, and I'm going to enter that data in there. Remember earlier I was just entering some random stuff. That's what most people do. The first example I gave 10 minutes ago, I just entered random stuff. But in this time, I'm going to enter a price. I need between $28 and $63, because that's what my spreadsheet here, my rough calculation spreadsheet said I need to sell it for. I want a review count, and our monthly sales is going to be between 450 and 600. Because remember, my spreadsheet back here said the sales per month are about 450. So I'm going to say, okay, 450 to maybe up to 600. I might be able to handle that. My review count, I'm going to say I want someone that's been selling for a while. They're not brand new. They didn't just launch. And maybe it's misleading data because they've been doing a promotion with a launch service and their sales look inflated. So I want them to have at least 20 reviews and a max. In this case, I just put 150. Remember, before I put 200, doesn't matter, but 150 is a fairly low number. So I'm looking for people who are doing well, that are selling between $28 and $63. They're selling 450 to 600 a month. They have a fairly low review count, so it's easy for me to compete with them. They have a review rating of 4 or less, so that means there's probably something wrong with their product that I can probably fix. And number of sellers is just 1. And then also in this particular case, I put in a variation count because I like to start, if I can, I like to find products that don't have lots of variations in the beginning. Variations can be a good thing later on, but I try to find in the beginning someone that doesn't have lots of variations. That makes it a little bit easier. You don't have to stock as much SKUs, or you don't have to figure out, man, should I launch the red one or the blue one, or should I launch a small or a large? Sometimes you could change this to 2 if you want, and these numbers are not exact. You have to play around with these. But in this case, that's what I'm going to do. So I do that, and Blackbox spits back, let's say, a whole bunch of results. And I scroll through, and I found these 3. These 3 look interesting to me: a basketball shooting hoop, a spy camera, and some sort of coach's marker things that they throw on the ground. So what I'm going to do on each one of these is I'm going to run that through that profitability calculator on Helium 10. And it's going to give me all these numbers. I'm not going to go walk you through all this, but there's one that stands out for me, and that the one that stands out is the one on the left. And it looks like my screen didn't put it here, but that one, it's because it had the highest ROI. The ROI when I calculated, I'm not sure why it's not on my screen. My type is missing, but it had the highest ROI over there. I think it was like a 200% ROI. And so I'm going to take a look at that product, closer look, and I come in here and look at this product. They got a bunch of images. They got some good bullet points. You know, their titles filled out. They're doing an okay job, but maybe I can compete here because the ROI is really good. Maybe I can come in and compete. So I'm going to run the profitability calculator, and I found out my unit cost is about $6.60 is what I'm going to enter. How did I figure that out? I just went over to Alibaba and just looked up this, found something similar, and I didn't contact the manufacturer. I just, over 200 pieces, they said it's $5.09. And these numbers are a lot of times wrong, but I'm just using it for rough napkin math just to get an idea here. I'll dive into this deeper before I make a decision later. But for now, it's $5.90, and I added a little bit to it just because I just like to pad it a little bit. So I said $6.60. And so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this ASIN that Black Box found. I'm going to go over to the Cerebro tool from Helium 10, and I'm going to punch that in up at the top. And it's going to do what's called a reverse ASIN search. And it's going to find all the keywords that this item might be making sales on. These are not the keywords that for sure it's making sales. It might be making sales on. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to narrow this down to try to get the better keywords, because it might spit back a list of this case here. It looks like 3,500 keywords. That's too many for me to scroll through. Lunch is coming up. I can't sit here and do that. I'm going to narrow this down. I'm going to say the search volume of at least 1,000 a month. Competing products, I might start with, see if there's less than 1,000. Ideally, this should be less than 5 to 10,000, but I might start at 1,000. If I don't get very many results, I'll raise that. The word count, I want search terms that have at least 2 words in them, because single word phrases are a little hard to rank on and not quite dialed in. So 2 words, or you could put 3, whatever you want. And it's going to spit back some results that look something like this. And so much easier to manage, 15 results. I can scroll through these and look for opportunities. So look at that first one, Nanny Cam's wireless with cell phone app. That's a pretty long keyword. And it's got, I don't pay any attention to Cerebral IQ score, but it's got a search volume of 11,325. It's like, damn, a lot of words in there. And look, competing products is only 483. Man, there's not much competition on that. Look at the blue one, Cámaras Espías. That's in Spanish. This is in the US market. And a lot of people, 8,500 searches a month in Spanish. Only 772 competing products. There's a bunch of people advertising on it. 362. So what I do next, I'm going to go over and let's check this out in Amazon. Let me type that Cámaras Espías into Amazon, that one that's in blue here, and let's see what comes up. And so once I do that search, I'm going to hit the X-ray product research tool. I'm using the Chrome browser. It's going to spit back something that looks like this. And I can see that the products that are ranking for this are doing about $500,000 a month in sales. Well, what I'm going to, it's a 5-star opportunity. I'm not saying now, because I'm showing this an example, don't rush out and do this. I've shown this example to a lot of people, so it's probably going to be very competitive very soon. So don't rush out and do a spy camera. This is for illustration purposes. But I'm going to sort it by sales. I'm going to hit that sales column. I don't care about their dollars. I want to know who's making sales, who's unit sales. So I'm going to sort it by sales, not by revenue. And once I've done that, I'm going to scroll through the results, and I'm going to mouse over. If you mouse over, it'll show you a photo. And I want to find the ASINs that are the most similar to my guy. And that's the little boxy looking one, the one that you can hold in the hand. That's the type of spy camera. It's not the one that looks like the one on the right. That's like some ball or something. That's a different kind of spy camera. So people that are looking, I want people, you have to think from the terms of the customer. They're looking for something they can hide really easy. That ball one is not something they can hide. That's maybe you mount it to the wall or you mount it to the ceiling or whatever. It's a whole different thing. So the people that are looking for the little tiny one are probably wanting to put that in a very inconspicuous place. So I want to see who is very similar to that. So I'm going to scroll through those, and I'm going to find all the ASINs that are similar. Now, another way you can do this is you can also use Black Box to do this. Instead of going through this whole process that I just showed you, you can just type the ASIN into Black Box, sort it by the monthly sales, and it will actually spit back a similar thing for you too, and you can scroll through. So once you have the ASINs that you found, you can paste them into the Cerebro tool. You can do up to 10 here. So I'm going to paste up to 10 ASINs, and what it's going to do is it's going to compare all these to each other. So what I'm looking for are the opportunities. Where are all these guys that are selling little tiny boxy looking spy cams? Where are they probably making their sales? Not just one guy, but where's the whole, as a group, as a collective group, as a market. So I'm gonna hit get keywords, or I can hit the get competitors button if I want. You can do it either way. If you hit the get competitors button, it's going to kind of do some of the work for you. This is brand new. Helium 10 just came out with this. So it will actually go through and show you the competitors. So I don't have to do the whole X-ray process that I showed you, but I can click here and just click, make it green, whichever ones look like mine. You see the ones that are the little green box around them, it'll automatically grab them for you. So you can do it either way. This is brand new and just came out. And it's going to then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter some filters again down here. This time, maybe the search volume is only 300. I'm going to lower it a little bit. The competing products, I raised it to 8,000. I'm kind of casting a wide net. And if this returns too many results, I'll narrow the net, maybe down to 5,000 competing products, or maybe raise the search volume to 500 or 1,000. You got to play with this. There's not a magic number. The people that teach out there can show you this is the magic number. Do it wrong, because everybody finds the same shit. And you don't want that. You want to think for yourself. The competitor average ranking, I want people that are on the first page. Typically, that's 24 spots. Sometimes it's 60, sometimes it's 48. But I just put 24 there. That means they're most likely on the first page. Sometimes I'll put 16. I want to see at least 3 competitors ranking. That's in the bottom middle red box. And then I want to see a competitor performance score. This is from Helium 10 of 8 or above. You could try 6. You could try 10. I think 10 is the highest. You can play with this, but I just put in an 8 or above. It's like a little calculation they do of how competitive this product is. The higher the number is less competitive. So what happens when I spit this back is, look here. It shows me all these keywords that all these guys are ranking on, and it shows me the averages. So I can see that by sorting it, Mini Spy Camera has 9,000 searches a month. The CPR giveaways, so if I want to rank for this really fast, you could rank for this over a long period of time by using PPC and other ways. But if you're impatient and want to rank for this immediately out of the gate, you would have to give away about 176 of these. You'd have to do some sort of heavily discounted promotion, or somehow generate about 176 sales to get onto page 1 for that keyword. But as you can, and then the green box shows the competitor average rank. So I'm looking for lower in the green box. Lower is better. So as I scroll through here, I see the ones that are in the yellow here, these 4 or 5 in the yellow that stand out. Cámaras Espías, got good search volume, 8,500. Got to give away 168. There's only 772 people competing. But my competitor is fine. So that means that they're probably making sales off of this, because most of the guys are ranked in the first half of page 1. And as you keep going down, Cop Cam Hidden Camera looks like another one. I only have to give away 80 though for that one, and it's got 3,400 searches. So maybe that's a keyword I should look at. Cámara Espía without the plural, and so on. So I'm going to go through here and I'm going to try to find which of these keywords I can compete on. Another way to discover more golden keywords is you type in all these ASINs and you hit the Get Keywords button there, and it will spit back similar results where you could filter by search volume, by competing products. But on this particular one, when you do it this way, you can actually have these filters on the right-hand side for organic, sponsored, and Amazon recommended. So it will search all the people that are running sponsored ads, all the organic, and it searches something called Amazon recommended. This comes from the PPC. When Amazon recommends certain keywords, it searches that as well. So sometimes you can find a little bit extra gold in there too. And it'll spit back this Amazon recommended rank. So you can see it ranks the keywords from the highest rated, like it would be number 1, to the lowest rated. So for this particular one, these particular products, the best keyword according to Amazon, straight from Amazon's mouth, is Mini Spy Camera, and it goes down from there. That doesn't mean I'm going to try to go after Mini Spy Camera, because maybe I don't want to give away 176 of them to launch. I might start at a smaller number, maybe at Nanny Cams, because it's only 64. It's like the 5th one down there, or something like that. And then build my way up to try to get ranking later on Mini Spy Camera. So if I go through these, I see Nanny Cams looks like a good one. Cámaras Espías Ocultas looks like a good one, because there's not much competition. I don't have to give away a lot. There's a respectable search volume on it that I think I can rank on. They're long tail keywords. I see Mini Camera Espía and Nanny Camera, a couple others. So if I go through and I add those into my little spreadsheet, I go for those 5, I have a total search volume of about 17,567 a month. To rank for these, if I want to do a big blast or a giveaway, I need to budget about 384 into my projections. And I like to think that on Amazon, I can sell, if I can get into the top positions on page 1 for these keywords, the top 4, 5, 6 positions, I can sell about 4%. That's just a rough average. That's just a target. I'm not saying you'll do that. You might do 2%, you might do 20%. But just as a rough ballpark, I want to say I can grab about 4% of the sales if I can rank this and stay ranked. So that's about 703 sales per month. If I'm selling this for $32.99 a month, or $32.99 a piece, and I can sell 703 a month, that's 23 grand in sales and a profit based on the calculator on left of about 12,600 bucks a month on this product. Now that doesn't include other fees like software fees and others. You're going to have other costs that's going to dig into that. You might have some PPC costs that's going to dig into that. There's going to be other things. So that's not what you're putting in your pocket. But basically this $10,000 investment could generate me about 100 grand or more a year potentially in profits. So this is how I go in and I find these products. Now there's another really important thing here that you need to look at. This is all based on cash flow and what I can manage. So this is, if you do it this way, it's going to help you stay out of trouble. So another really important thing is a cash flow metric called that I like, called ROII. It stands for return on inventory investment. Remember earlier we talked about ROI, just one I. I added a second I to it now, because this is gross profit per product divided by the inventory value per product. So basically your gross profit in dollars or euros or whatever you're selling divided by the landed cost, the inventory value per product. And so this number, this is why you shouldn't focus on profit. It's an illustration of this. If you take a look at these 3 examples of product 1, 2, and 3, one sells for product 1's 10 bucks, landed cost $3. I make 3, Amazon's going to take like $4 in fees. I make $3 profit per sale. That's a 30% profit margin. My ROII is 100%. Product 2, selling for 25 bucks, landed cost is 10. I got $8 profit. It actually has a better profit margin of 32%, but its ROII is 80%. And then product 3 shows a 46% profit margin and 177% ROI. That's probably the one I might try to target if I can afford it. But this is why, if you look at solely based on profit margin, you're going to make a mistake, because this is going to tie up your money faster, and it's not going to allow you to grow as fast as you want, or you're going to have to get outside capital or get Uncle Bob to lend you some money, or take out a loan and pay interest or whatever. So this is why ROI is another really important. So the high value ROI with a high value are winners. The ones with low value are losers. So if you're already selling on Amazon and you have 100 products, you could actually free up some cash flow by cutting those products. You might say, well, shoot, man, why would I cut something that's making me a couple grand a month in profit? It's because maybe you could replace it with something that's making you 5 grand a month in profit, or has a better ROII. The opportunities are endless out there. So need to drop product. I only have, like, in my main account, I have some partner accounts, but in my main personal account, I only have 15 to 20 products. And I do millions of dollars a year in sales. And so if one of my products doesn't perform, even though it's making profit, I can put the money to better use somewhere else. And so I'll cancel that product and move on to something else. If you want to get a great spreadsheet to do cash flow, go to this bit.ly link. And remember, you'll get the slides. This guy's Dolman Bateman. They're accountants from Australia. They've got I think you'll have to give them your email address to get it. But it's a really great cash flow spreadsheet so that you can plug in and kind of see your bank balance, estimated bank balance by month. It's a really good spreadsheet. I highly recommend. He's got a video there. It's kind of dry and boring to watch as an accountant, but it's good information and can really make a big difference in your business and give you the best chance of success. So that's tip number 2. So we'll keep,
yes.
Augustus.
Yes, thanks a lot. It was powerful strategy, I hope, but even though I didn't manage to follow everything, so many tables, but I hope that people will be able to watch the replay. And also you said you will share the slides, right?
Yeah. So I will share the slides, and you will watch the replay here on YouTube. I know I go a little bit quick, but this is I want to give you as much value as I can in the short time we have together today.
Yeah.
So
So maybe take a sip of water. I will just quickly remind to the people that you can meet Kevin in a European Seller Conference in Prague, which will be happening in March 28th, 29th, 2019. You can meet him in person. Also, all the strategies which he is teaching probably are from Freedom Ticket as well, right? Kevin, can you very shortly talk about Freedom Ticket?
yeah, I'll talk about that at the end if that's okay.
Okay, perfect. And also, if you are still watching, please click a subscribe button. There is, I think, the white circle. Click subscribe to this channel of Orange Click so you can get more videos with different Amazon experts. And let's look at the next strategy Kevin has to share today.
All right, cool. We'll do strategy number 3. So if everybody's ready, let's do this one. Remember that showed you that chart at the beginning where there's different places where Amazon makes sales. We've been talking about the search terms. This time we're going to talk about the product pages, because a lot of the sales on Amazon come from other places than search. So someone might search for bath soaps and they see a list of results, and maybe they click on your product that's a bath soap and they end up buying it. And that's great. That's about 35% of the sales on Amazon occur that way, roughly 35%. But about 40% of sales, which is more, actually occur when someone types in bath soap. They click on somebody else's listing because they have a better picture, or they have a better price, or there's some other reason they're ranked in the second spot and you're down at number 20 on the page, kind of buried. They click on the second one, and then they go on that page and like, okay, this looks interesting. But down at the bottom, you'll notice there's always these sponsored products related to this item, or customers also shop for, or customers who viewed this, bought that. There's a bunch of different things that Amazon puts down there. And if you can get into these spots with a compelling product, you can actually do very, very well, because like I said, 40% of the people don't buy what's on that page. They click on something else that catches their eye down here. This is why it's so critical to have a great image as your main image. You've got to stand out. You can't just be a me too. It's got to pop off the page and draw the eye. But if you can get into these spots, just imagine what the possibilities are. So you could run ads and start showing up in sponsored products related to this. You could run an auto ad campaign, PPC campaign, and Amazon will start showing you here. Amazon also shows you here if you're bidding in your campaigns, or manual or auto, for bath soaps, and someone typed bath soaps and got to a competitor's page, they might actually show you here too, even though they don't necessarily just show you on the search results page. They'll show you on other pages that are deeper down that started with that search term. So if you can get into these spots, that would be great. But sometimes you don't want to be in these spots because maybe you're advertising and people are clicking, but they're not buying, and you're just hemorrhaging money, and so you don't want to do that. So what I'm going to show you here is how I figure out which pages I'm going to target. So you could go into, if you've been running a campaign, a PPC campaign for a while, and you've been running especially an auto campaign. You always want to make sure you run an auto campaign on a new product, this automatic targeting. Once you've run that for a week or so, longer is better, but at least a week, you can go in, you can get a report. So you can go into a report summary, and there's a sponsored product search term report that you can download. And inside that report, it's going to show you the terms. This is an example from something I've done in the past, where it'll show down at the bottom, the very bottom right, it shows like box of candy, box of chocolates. Those are keywords people are typing in, and it'll show you the results there. But then the little asterisk in the targeting column means it's an auto. And the customer search term, sometimes you'll see these weird characters in there. And I see people sometimes on the Facebook group say, what the heck is this gibberish? These are ASINs. So these are ASINs that they've shown your product on. So other people's ASINs, other people's product pages that they've shown you in the advertising spot. So you want to take a look at these and see which ones of these are actually converting for you, or leading to sales or clicks. And then you're going to use, that's one in products that actually might be good for you to actually go in and target. Another way though, if you don't have this data, maybe you're just a brand new product, and you haven't been running ads, so which of these ASINs people are buying off of and which ones they aren't. You can go into Black Box again, our old secret weapon, and you can click on this tab called Product Targeting. That's Product Targeting tab. And when you do that, you can come in here and fill in these blue boxes that I have highlighted in blue. You can fill in as many of these as you want. But what I would do on these boxes is in the first one, I want to target people who have a better chance of converting. So I want to put people who have a price, in this case, that's higher than mine. So, I mean, you might put, they have a minimum of $30 price or a maximum of $30 price. Someone that has a price that's higher than mine. So when they see my listing on the page, it looks like it's a better deal. The review count, maybe I want to put in a review count where I have more reviews than they do. And the same thing on review rating. Maybe my rating is better than theirs. So I want to show only the products that are below me. So that's why I put this maximum here. Maybe I have 210 reviews. So that's why review count says a maximum of 200. So show me only the people that have less reviews than me. Show me the people who have a lower review. My review score is 4.6, let's say. So only show me the people who are less than me. And what it will do is it pulls everything from frequently bought together, from customers who also bought this item, and from the Amazon suggested products that are related to this. It will go in and will pull all this data and filter it based on the ones that most closely you have the best chance of kicking their butt. And so once you do that, it will spit back a results like this. You can just go in there and you can scroll through it and delete some if you don't want to, don't want them in there for some reason, or you can just hit that download to CSV button. You download that CSV. It'll give you a spreadsheet that has all kinds of data. You can use this in different ways. But the main thing I want to focus on here is that ASIN list on the left. I'm just going to copy and paste that. Then I'm going to go over into my sponsored ads campaign. I'm going to set up a new manual targeting campaign. So a new manual targeting campaign. I'm going to come in here and select this beta targeting, which is in beta. This just launched in early 2019. And then I'm going to come down here and select individual products. And then I'm going to paste all those ASINs that Blackbox found. These are all the people that my product is in theory better than, that I have a good chance of actually beating them. I'm going to paste that into the ASINs box, and I'm going to target on those guys. So that's how I do this, and you got to test it. Some of these will work, some won't, but you play with this and you might see some really good results really quickly at a decent ACost. So that's how I do my product targeting. Now, before we go on this, I want to give you guys a little bonus. I told you I'm going to give you 3 things that can help you, but I want to give you a little bonus, some sample ninja hacks. I do something with Manny Coates over to the guys at Helium 10. It's called Helium 10 Elite. So you can sign up for Helium 10 Elite, and not only do you get access to all the Helium 10 software, their highest package, you also get monthly training. And every month we come in and we do a training where we show you the latest and coolest stuff. And at the end of that training, I always give away one of my parts is I show 7 hacks or tips. And it's one of the most popular parts of it. So I want to give you a little sample right now as a free gift since you guys have been watching this video. So the first one I want to give you is there's lots of sellers that are having a really good success using this URL. People always say, what's the best URL to use for ranking? If I'm out, search, find, buy is the best. So if that's where it's like a real human manually typing something in, finding a product and buying it, that's the best. But a lot of people, they want to send traffic from Facebook or from their email list or from wherever. What URL should you use? As of right now, this could always change, but as of right now, the field ASIN URL is the best one to use. Or what's in yellow, you're going to replace. Put your keywords in there and the ASIN. Now, remember, you'll get the slides on this, so don't worry about it. But this one is as of right now, is giving the best results for most people. Not the brand one, not the 2-step. This one's giving the best results. The second tip I want to give you, now remember, these are quick down and dirties. If you're having trouble with hijackers or counterfeiters, you've been selling for a while, maybe you don't have brand registry yet, or maybe you do have brand registry, still have problems. Here's a little tactic that I like to use. Most of my products, I put them in a nice box, a nice packaging box. And this is what's called a die cut here on the left-hand side. It's kind of like the blueprint of the box. What's in red is what's going to be seen, and what's in blue is going to be hidden. It's going to be like it's glued, or it's part of the flaps or whatever when you assemble the box. And the box, looks something like this. What I like to do is on my packaging is I go in and on the part that's going to be hidden, I will put something like original or this is official or put your logo or put something in there. And if you notice where the red arrow is in the middle, when that outside flap is folded over and glued, it's going to be hidden. So a counterfeiter most likely is not going to know that. It's kind of like your own brand your own. Amazon has the transparency program now where you pay like 20 cents and they put a special barcode on there, which is actually good to do. But if you don't want to spend that money or don't have that, this is kind of a little help preventative. So you put that inside, and then when someone comes onto your listing and they're selling a counterfeit product, or maybe it's even the same product or similar to yours, sometimes it's not counterfeit, it's just similar. You can buy one of theirs, buy one of yours, take pictures and show Amazon, look, these are different. This is the one that says original or has my logo. This is mine. Look, they're selling something different. It's not the same. And oftentimes that can help you get the hijacker kicked off. Another thing, if you're having people or your competitors are up to no good, another way you can to help prevent yourself, because I see this all the time. People are like, I got a hijacker, I got this, what can I do? If you just open a ticket with Amazon, you can send them a cease and desist letter. There's lots of things you can do. But if you just open up a ticket with Amazon and say, hey, I've got someone selling on my listing and they're not authorized, or it's counterfeit or whatever, a lot of times you'll just get a boilerplate response back from Amazon, and you're like, you start pull out your hair, and it doesn't do anything. But what I recommend you do instead of opening up a ticket is report them directly to this email address, suspect-abuse@amazon.com. I think that's a better way to actually get into the queue, and it bypasses some of the lower level people at Amazon that may misclassify your case, or the software that misclassifies it. And then when you're writing your complaint, you want to use trigger words that people at Amazon know what to look for, because these people are not the highest level people there. They're entry level people in some cases, and they have SOPs, standard operating procedures, that they have to go by. So if you just write out your complaint, they kind of have to figure out, okay, what is this? Is this a complaint that's a twister abuse? Is it a complaint that's a shadow invisible? Is it a complaint that's a self-hijacking? What is it? And they have to then go to the SOP, and after they figure that out, and say, okay, this is what it is. This is the answer I need to do, or the action I need to take. So a lot of times what you have in this case is what's called PDP, or product display page tampering. So if you put in your deal, if that's what the case is, you can say, hey, I've got a case of a PDP-tampering. This guy is selling the product he's not allowed to, or it's a counterfeit. Or whatever the reason is, and then explain it, but put this trigger keyword. They're like, okay, let me go pull that SOP. I know what to do. So you're taking some of the guesswork out, and you'll probably have a little bit better results. So these are 3 like little ninja tips that we give out in the Helium 10 Elite every month to the people that are in that. Now, like Augustas said, this is the type of stuff I'm going to be teaching at the event in Prague. So if you're in Europe, this is a no-brainer. If you don't come to this, it's not just me. It's a great list of speakers. I'll show you in a second. This is what you're going to learn. It's 2 days of this, March 28th and 29th. And then if you want to stay on March 30th, it's going to be a full day with just me showing you all kinds of stuff like this. A full Amazon workshop that's limited. So it's not as many people that'll be at that. So what to expect? There's going to be over 200 sellers there. The networking is going to be great. You can come and see my statue that Augustas is building. No, I'm just kidding. The conference is on the first 2 days, and the last day is a workshop. So if you're watching this and you're in the US or Australia or Hong Kong or somewhere else, it's worth a trip to Prague. Make a vacation out of it, write it off, bring the wife, bring the kids. Prague's a beautiful city. It's great food, great drinks, lots of cool stuff to see. You might even stay a couple extra days. It's easy to get to airport and location. So I highly recommend you come over and check it out. Not only just to hear me, but you got speakers from 7 countries. All these people, I know some of these guys I'm actually looking forward to meeting. I don't know Alex. I don't know Jana. There's Timo, I don't know them. Or Enon, I don't know some of these people. I know Dan, I know Gil, I know Franz, I know Danny, Chris. There's some really good speakers, CJ. There's some really good speakers here that are going to be just delivering some awesome stuff. So if you haven't gotten a ticket yet, I highly recommend you go get your ticket. The link is europeansellerconference.com. There's 3 different options. I'm not part of the conference. I'm just showing up. I'm just helping Augustas out here, so I'm not getting a kickback, or I'm not making anything off of this. I want you to learn. I enjoy helping people and want to help you out. So you can just come to the conference if that's all you want to do. The 2 days for $500. I'll be speaking for like an hour or so there. You can upgrade to a VIP. You can see there that gets you you get to go to dinner the night before the conference with the speakers, and you get you get some other cool stuff. Or in the workshop day, there is an extra charge for the workshop day. That's all day with just me. So that there is a upcharge for that. But I think Augustus even has a special deal. Do the VIP and you get the workshop. You save a little bit of money. So that's an option as well. There's just a couple other things before I close out here. Steve Simons, who's a big guy in the industry, he and I have a really cool project that we're about to announce. If you just go to kevinandsteve.com, you can enter your email address there and we'll notify you. It's coming in April, but it's a really cool thing. Mine, it's not some sort of software. It's not a course or training. It's not like we're going to manage your account for you, or it's not a trip. It's something revolutionary that nobody's really done. I can't tell you what it is, but just go to Kevin and Steve and enter your email address and get on the list, and you'll see what we're cooking up. It's pretty cool. And like Augustus said, if you're new to the business or you've been selling for a while, I have a course called Freedom Ticket. It's at freedomticket.com. It's a course. Some people that are experienced sellers find that they go through it. Some people that have taken other courses. There's like 300 courses out there. There's tons. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry has a course on Amazon, and honestly, most of them suck. There's 5 or 6 good ones, but most of them suck. They're by people that they're not very thorough, by people that aren't selling anymore. You got to be careful if you're using YouTube, free stuff on YouTube. Some of that stuff is dated, out of date. My course, I keep it up to date. I change out modules as things change, and you get access to that. It's 22 hours of video training. You can do it at your own pace, or you can go through it over an 8-week period. It's detailed. It's extremely detailed, and with notes and slides and over the shoulder. I show some of my own products. Every week I do a live Q&A call with the students, directly with me, not with someone else that works with me or anything. It's straight with me where you can ask questions. So if nothing else, just go to freedomticket.com. There's a webinar there that's on auto replay. You can watch it at your convenience. The first hour is solid training, like what you just had today, and some additional stuff than what you just saw. At least watch that, and that'll probably help you. Even if you don't have the money or don't want to sign up for a course, at least watch that, and I think that'll help you. So this is a slide, the picture. If you want to take a picture or a screenshot, pull out your phone, take a picture of this, or take a screenshot. This has all the links where you can go download the slides. It's in the big white box there. Make sure you go to get your ticket at European Seller Conference before it's limited to 200. Make sure you go there before it sells out. And there's some other links there as well. So or pull out your phone, take a picture of that, and that'll get you everything that you need. So I want to thank everybody for coming on today. I really appreciate it. I love sharing, and I hope some of this information will help you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Thank you for promotion of the European Seller Conference in native English language. Usually when I do promotion, it's obviously not native English. We have, so those who were watching the replay or right now, you will find most of the links which Kevin mentioned in the description below this video, and also don't forget to subscribe in this corner. Actually, it was in this corner. And Kevin, we have few questions. I don't know. Do you have? We can try very short answers. Or
yeah, I have like just a couple minutes. I've got to get on another call, but yeah, we can do a couple really quick.
Okay, let's do very quick. You can switch off the screen sharing so we can see your webcam. So the first question is from Essensi. Can you tell me if you would do anything different to rank and sell high-priced products on Amazon? So that person wants to sell for $50, but all the $20. So do you do anything different?
Yeah, sometimes on the high price, you don't have to do as many giveaways and stuff, but no, high price and low price work in a similar way.
Okay, so next one from Locutus. On the desktop, Amazon shows the bullet points first and description second. On the mobile phone, vice versa. What should I weight as more important at the time of listing creation?
That's why I told you, if you caught the first part of it, I told you the description is like weighted number 7 as far as keyword ranking, but the first 200 characters are extremely important. For that reason you just said, that they do flip it on mobile and show the description first. You want those first 200 characters to really help you sell the product.
Okay, EcoLife Ninja. What if a 429 times sale price is not possible, as others in the market are killing it on a lower price, but maybe he has a good ROI. What would you do?
Yeah, if the ROI is there, you can reconsider. So sometimes you can reconsider that if the volume's there. But the problem is sometimes you see other people are killing it, but are they actually making money? So just because someone's killing it doesn't mean they might be generating sales and cash, but are they actually making money? And the thing is, if a lot of other people in the market are killing it, it attracts other people. And so a lot of times it becomes a price war and a race to the bottom. So because you don't have that 4x to 9x, you don't have the margins to play with. There's a lot of people, they don't do their cash flow and they're generating money, but they're generating cash and getting paid by Amazon, but they're really not generating profits. Or maybe they're generating $1 profit on each item, but they're selling 200 a day and they're happy with that. But I'd like to stay away from that. I don't like to compete there. If you like to play that game, great. But for me, that's too easy to fall off the cliff. It's too easy, I don't like playing there because it's too dangerous. Because one of those guys just lowers his price by $1, you have to lower your price to compete, and pretty soon nobody's making any money. Or you're competing against a Chinese factory that has a 15 to 20% price advantage over you, and so they're able to do that.
Okay, one more question. Someone made my FBA inactive by trying to contribute to the product title. And if I submit complaint, it is considered as a PDP, he's asking.
Yeah, what happens, especially if you have EBC, enhanced brand content, if you're brand registered, what happens is some of these, it's usually from China, sometimes it's from Eastern Europe, but usually from China, they will go in and they will, using a vendor central account, there's a loophole as of right now, and this may get closed soon, but there's a loophole where they can go in and change your product. They can change the title, change the pictures, change your listing, but the only thing they cannot change is your EBC. So if you have EBC, you'll notice it might be your pictures, but everything else on the product listing has changed. That's a telltale sign that someone manipulated your listing. And so in your case, even if you don't have EBC, if they went in and changed the title, that would be a PDP tampering issue that you want to report.
And the last question, is there a place where the person can find the breakdown of the meaning of those 7 trigger words when reporting to Amazon?
No, I don't think there actually is a place to actually get the exact meaning. A couple of them, I don't even know what they are. So, to be honest with you, but the PDP tampering is for most the main one you use. That's going to be usually your issue.
Mm-hmm. All right, and someone reported that the link to the slides doesn't work. I'm sure Kevin will fix it in the next few hours, because now he will jump.
Make sure you type all capital letters, amzmarketer.com, EUCON.
Yeah, we will see. Yeah, if it doesn't work, we will double check. I know Kevin has to go. And thanks a lot, Kevin, for your time. See you in Prague. See you everyone else in Prague. And Kevin will also be happy to shake your hand.
Great. Thanks, guys. Take care.